What is good, you guys? Today we have a nice simple tutorial for y'all. As you can see, it's been a little while since he's gotten a haircut. So today we're going to be giving him a high taper. We're going to knock down the sides and trim the top, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So to begin this haircut, what we're going to do is dampen the hair first to get it ready for the trim. And the reason I like to trim the hair first is because I like to know exactly the length I'm blending into. Kind of the same idea as when we're doing a buzz cut and we take down the top first. So now we're going to start in the front and we're going to take off about a ½ an inch. I knew what he wanted to take off in the consultation. You know, I asked him what kind of haircut he wanted, what kind of, taper he wanted. And he wanted about a ½ an inch off the top. So I started in the front and now I'm going to work my way back little by little. And you want to be sure when you're pulling the hair back that you're not pulling up too much hair, or what they call over directing, because when you grab a bunch of hair and pull it back, what you can cause is unevenness in the hair, and we do not want that. So nice and small sections is how you're going to get a nice consistent cut. And now we're going to use that middle guideline as our reference point. So as you can see, when we're working on his right side, if you look towards the inside of my finger is the length that we cut down the middle to. So now we're just matching everything to that length. And now we're going to work towards his left doing the same thing. So as you can see, I'm using the middle as my guideline and then trimming everything else to that length. And now after we trim the top, we're going to go ahead and defuse it. And the reason I like to use the diffuser when trimming curls is because it's going to cause less frizz and it's going to dry the hair, nice, and allow his curls to get some definition. Now after we dry it, we're going to go ahead and knock down the top. So this client doesn't like to have long hair on the sides, but he does like it to be dark. So what I'm going to do is knock down the sides to a 3 guard. So I'm coming in with that 3 guard, and you'll see I'm keeping it right below the parietal ridge, because I don't want to take this too high. I want to keep this haircut nice and balanced. So I'm coming off the shape of his head, not trying to create too harsh of a guideline. Same thing on this side. And if you're wondering what clipper I am using, I'm using the Stylecraft Rebels. But this is one of their limited edition master cartoon collabs. So if you guys would like to purchase these, you can go ahead and head to their website, which is in the description. And use code JClipperHands at checkout, and we'll give you a nice little discount. So now we're just continuing to make sure that we knocked it down to that 3 guard truly. So you'll see I started off open and then I worked my way closed. So again, that guideline isn't as harsh. And now to blend into the length on the top, we're going to do some clipper over comb. So you'll see I'm coming in with that comb and flaring out slightly. And then any hair sticking out, we're going to go ahead and get rid of. And as you can see, it's a nice clean transition. And we could have used our guards. We could have went up to the 4 guard and the 5 guard, but clipper over comb just saves a lot of time and is more efficient. Same thing on the other side, being sure to keep that weight in the back. I don't want to take it all the way up to his crown, because again, we want to maintain that balanced look. And now we're going to do some scissor over comb to go ahead and soften everything up and make everything that looks choppy with the clipper over comb look a lot smoother with the scissor over comb. So same idea, we're coming in with our comb, flaring out slightly, and then any hair sticking out, we're going to go ahead and get rid of. And if you guys are enjoying this tutorial so far and feel like you're getting value and education, I have some exciting news, because soon I will be dropping my online academy. So if you go to the link in the description and press on ClipperHands Academy, go ahead and enter your email and you will be one of the first notified when it drops. There will be a ton of value, a ton of gems inside of the academy. Everything from how to grow your social media to how to get better at cutting hair. Everything that you guys have questions about that you leave in the comments will be answered on it. So again, go to the description, type in your email when it takes you to the website, and I will get that to you guys ASAP. I'm super excited for the launch, and I know it's going to bring you a ton of value and gems So be on the lookout for that. So now for the neck taper, what we're gonna do is establish our bald line, and I'm going a little below the bottom of the earlobe and going straight across. And as you can see, that redness is a birthmark. It is not caused by my trimmers. And now I'm gonna follow it up with my Stylecraft Flex shavers, and this is just to get it closer to the skin and really make that taper pop. And shout out to Stylecraft for sending these through. This is my second haircut using them, so go ahead and purchase those on their website as well. And now we're gonna use our instincts with the lever all the way open, going up about a finger's width, still maintaining that straight across. And you want to make sure that you brush every time you pass the clipper, just to make sure that you have a nice clean canvas to work with. And now we're going to close that lever all the way, and we're going to get rid of that line in between, so I'm coming in closed, and then you'll see me open up that lever little by little. So when you come in closed, you want to make sure that when you get to the top of that guideline that your clipper is all the way open. And now we're going to move on to our one guard all the way open, and we're going to do the same thing, going up about that finger's width and going straight across. And if you look above this one guard where his occipital bone is, and all that is the bone that sticks out on most people's heads and causes that dark spot that you see, we're gonna have to pay extra attention to detail there in order to blend that out. So now we're gonna grab our 2 guard open, and this should blend right into that 3 that we knocked down the sides to, and we're gonna start blending down. So now we're going to drop down to our 1.5 lever open, and we're going to attack this guideline. And you'll see I'll start off open, but if I notice it's not getting rid of the line, I'm going to go ahead and close it all the way. And you'll see it slowly but surely start to get blended out. So now after we finish up with our 1.5, we're going to drop down to our half guard open, and we're going to start getting rid of that last guideline. So now I have my lever halfway, and we're going to work our way up. And as we get higher into the taper, you'll see me open up that lever a little more. And the half guard is really what brings the taper all the way together outside of like the detailing after the fact. So now I'm just continuing to work with the half guard. And you'll see little by little this taper is starting to come together. Still utilizing the corner of that blade. Now we moved on to our 1 guard lever all the way open, and we're going to continue to do the same exact thing, starting off with that 1 open, and then we'll close it. And this is just the detail that really is going to take the taper to a whole nother level. And now we're going to do some clipper over comb just to smooth out the transition into the 3 guard. And we have our lever all the way open. So now I believe I closed the lever just to get a little closer towards the bottom of the taper. And now we're going to move on to the side taper. So for the side taper, this is going to be a higher taper because we're blending out his arches because they're not as dense as we would like them to be. So we're starting at the top of the arch and where the ear connects to the head. And now we're going to follow it up with our foil shaver, again to really add some longevity to the taper. And now we're going to come in lever all the way open, going up about that finger's width once again. So for the side taper, we're going to follow the same exact system as we did with the back. And now we're going to come in close to get rid of the line in between. And you'll see me open up that lever little by little. And now we're all the way open. Now we'll move on to our 1 guard open, going up just a little bit higher. And you'll see on the side it's a little easier to move quicker with the taper because it's a smaller area to work with. Now we're brushing, and I will go ahead and close it to lighten up that line in between. And now we're going to move on to our 2 guard, lever all the way open, and this 2 guard should blend into the 3 on the sides. So we're coming in and flaring out. And I wanted to use the 2 guards to lighten up the area behind the ear because I noticed it was a little dark. And now we're going to start blending down. So now we have our 1.5 closed, and we're going to attack that line. Really utilizing the corner of that blade here. And I went back to my rebels because I felt like they were cutting a little closer to get rid of that line. As you can see, we pretty much got rid of it. Now we're going to drop down to our 1/2 guard, lever open. So we'll start off open, see if it blends it out, and if not, we'll close that lever little by little. So now I believe I closed it 1/4 of the way. And slowly but surely, this taper is going to look more finished. And now we're just detailing with the corners of our blade, seeing what works and what doesn't with that lever all the way open. So you'll see I closed it again right here. And now we went back to our 1 guard open. And that's why I always say it's important to try to get through your steps as efficiently as possible, because it gives you more time for detailing. So I went through my steps. There was some work that needed to be done, so I came in with that 1 guard. And now we're going to do some clipper over comb to blend into the length on the sides a little bit better. So that's what we're doing right here, coming in with that comb and flaring out slightly. And that transition looks a lot smoother. And now we're going to blend into his beard. So we're going to come in closed and open up that lever little by little. And all blending into the beard is a reverse taper. And you can see I already did it. And now for the neck taper, I'm going to start by establishing my line on the bottom of the taper. And then at the top of the ear. And I'll connect those 2 points in the middle. So I want to make sure that I comb those hairs down because I don't want any hairs overlapping. And the reason I like to establish my 2 reference points is because it makes it a lot easier for me to get that nice round shape without digging into the hair more than needed. And as you can see, I'm using my sabers, which is something you guys really have never seen me do on the channel, because at first I didn't like these. I had my gold ones. I had never used the black ones. But then I recently opened up the pair of sabers that they sent me, which are these. And they came hitting like this straight out of the box. I have not adjusted the blade, and I really enjoy the way that these cut. They mow through the hair very easily. So they've definitely been my go-to lately. And now we'll come to the other side and do the same thing, starting at the top of the ear, and then we'll work our way back. And you'll see after we line up his nape area, that neck taper really pops. It brings out any imperfections that we might need to go back and detail. But I'm just tapping and going, tapping and going. You don't want to press down too hard when doing this because you can cause a lot of clients irritation and redness, and that is something you don't want to do. And now we're going to get into his front lineup. So I like to prep the front lineup with alcohol and holding spray. And the alcohol is just to get rid of any oils on the skin. And then I'll follow up with holding spray to go in and lay those hairs down in the front. So we're going to start in the middle and work towards his left side. And as you can see, my man's lineup is very tricky. We're really lining up what a lot of people would call baby hairs. And then we're going to let the hairs that are clipped up overhang it. And it'll give it the illusion of it being fuller, right? But I'm lining it up straight across, not trying to dig into it too much. And this side is a lot fuller than the other. As you can see, he has that swirly or that cowlick. And we're going to work towards his right corner. And we're lining it up as if there's hair falling there already. But what we are going to do is go ahead and enhance it. And I'm using a Kiss Express and alcohol mix. And I'm spraying on the hairline lightly and then darkening it up as needed. What you don't want to do is spray on too much, and then when it comes time to pull the card away, you'll notice you sprayed it too dark, right? And to get rid of the enhancement in the middle of a haircut is really messy. So you want to make sure that you start off light and then darken it up as needed. As you can see, we filled in that light spot, let those hairs on top hang over. And now we're going to get into the facial hair. Now with the facial hair, we don't have too much work to do because as you can see, my client's beard is not the fullest. But what we're going to do is we're going to knock down the mustache, line it up, clean it up. So we're getting it off the lip, and then we'll hit the top of the mustache, thin it out a little bit. But that high taper is looking super clean, especially after this razor work. And now we're going to line up the bottom of the beard, where especially with people who have thin beards, I noticed that when you line up the bottom, it makes the beard look a lot fuller and a lot denser, as you guys will see here in a few moments. And his beard doesn't really grow in a way to where you can give him that nice sharp box look around the back of his jawline. So we kind of rounded it out, followed the natural shape of the beard. And now we're going to get into the razor. So you want to make sure that you stretch the skin in the opposite direction of which you are using the razor and get rid of all those little hairs. Same thing on the other side, stretching the skin and just letting that razor glide. And now for the beard, what we want to do is just like we did with the nape area, we want to establish reference points. So I started one at the bottom of the beard and then at the top of the beard. And then right here, I'm going to show you where exactly I'll connect it. And that'll give us that nice round shape that we're looking for. And after we put the line on this beard, you'll see that it looks a lot fuller and a lot denser. And now we'll do the same thing on the other side, starting at the bottom. And now we're going to go to the top. And that beard is looking a lot cleaner, a lot denser. But y'all already seen how my man came in looking, and this is how he left leaving. Alright, when you sit in my chair, we're gonna go ahead and get you right every time. Listen fam, if this video helps you in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And comment down below, let me know if you thought this haircut was fire or not. But stay tuned for the video after this, you will not be disappointed. Alright, peace. What up, Will?
What up, Dre?
What's
going on, man?
Good, good. Hey, what up, Zay? Alright, bro. I'm ready for you. Man, Zay, you alright, bro?
I just ain't feeling it, bro.
Don't worry, bro. I got something for you. Check this out.
What's this supposed to do for me?
Bro, trust me. Just put it on. Man, bro, so how you feel?
I ain't gonna lie, I feel good. I'm ready to cut.
Go ahead and take this walk in.
Let's get it. See that shirt you got on, man? Yeah, man. I was having a rough day, but definitely switched the mood up. All right, then.
Dang, Zay, that haircut fire, bro.
Thank you, bro.
So how'd it feel?
Man, felt amazing.
Yeah, you know I got you, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, bro. Can I get one of those?